All right, well, we're going to be talking about question number 23. The coordinates of the vertices of quadrilateral RSTV are this. Basically, in long story short, my recommendation is for you to graph it and figure it out. So, question number 23. Remember, you're getting hints in this video. You're not getting the everything filled out. All right, so quadrilateral MNPQ is a parallelogram. What is the value of x? All right, going back to what you know about parallelograms, this angle and this angle equal 180 degrees. And so what you're going to have to do is, it's going to be a two-step problem. 3y plus 2y minus 5 is equal to 180. Figure out what your y is. When you figure out what your y is, plug it in for q, and then get an overall value for angle q, and then set that equal to whatever n is, and you get your answer for x. Let's keep going. Question number 25. If quadrilateral RSTU is a rectangle with diagonals R2, and so you have a rectangle with diagonals. I'll be honest with you, diagonals of a rectangle, they intersect they bisect each other. So you would set the two equal to each other and then solve for A. All right, question number 26. Given and looking at our picture, what additional information must be sufficient to prove that ABCD is a parallelogram? All right, question number 26. The quadrilateral we're talking about is ACBD right here. And so you have AB, which is congruent to CD. This is the one theorem that always throws me off, is that if these are congruent, what other information do I need to know? And that is AB and CD are parallel. So A will be your answer. If AC is parallel to BD, and if the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is 140 degrees, what would be the angle of number 3? Pausing. All right, question number 27. If angle 1 and angle 2 right here, and it's kind of small, and so it's hard to see if this is 140 degrees, this makes an entire straight line, so this little piece right here would be 40 degrees, which means angle E would be 40 degrees. So my answer will be B. Okay, question number 28. The length of one leg of the right angle is 3 times the length of the other. Okay, so we're going to draw our triangle here. So if the length of one leg of the right triangle is 3 times the other, so if this was x, this would be 3x, and the length of the hypotenuse is 10. Okay, so we're using Pythagorean theorem, so x squared plus 3x squared is equal to 10 squared. You're going to solve it, but I'm just going to help you out. So x squared plus 3x squared ends up being 9x squared is equal to 100. And you can solve for there. All right. Question number 29. Which of the following is not equivalent to sine 60? What my recommendation is go into your calculator, figure out what sine 60 is. So sine 60 is what I got in my calculator is 0.866. So 0.866. So figure out which one of these is equal to 0.866. Use your calculator. Your calculator will be your friend in this case. All right, question number 30. If ABC is a right triangle, angle A is 20, B is 90, and all right, so let's go ahead and draw our right triangle. So B is my 90-degree angle, so this is going to be where B is. A we'll just say is 20. AC, I guess this would be AC, so this would be 8. AB will be 3. Which expression do you need to find BC? So I'm looking for this. So if I know this information, this is the opposite side, this is my adjacent side, this is my hypotenuse. So what I would need to find is, I would need to use cosine 20 is equal to, I said cosine, sorry, sine 20. Sine 20 is equal to x over 8. And what I just figured out is this is not one of my options here. So sine, you can figure it using sine, but I guess for the answers that they're given, let's go ahead and use tan. All right, so you can also use tan 20 is equal to x over 8, which in order to solve for x, I got to take tan and multiply by 20, so the answer should be C. A slide of the park is 25 feet long. The top of the slide is 10 feet above the ground. What is the approximate measure? All right, so what we have here is, here's our slide. It's a right triangle. It's a slide of the park is 25 feet long, and it is 10 feet above the ground. What is the approximate measure of the angle of the slide mixed with the ground? We're looking with that. All right, so that is the opposite over the hypotenuse, so that would be sine. So we're looking for sine of x is equal to 10 over 25. If y'all remember, you're going to be using the inverse, so sine inverse of 10 divided by 25. That should get your answer. All right, question number 32. Tell whether the measures of 6, 13, and 14 can be side lengths of a triangle. Remember, if I'm going too fast, please pause the video. So classify the triangle as acute, right, or obtuse. All right, so this would be your A, this would be your B, this would be your C. So it would be 6 squared plus 13 squared is hopefully equal to 14 squared. Okay, if this is a true statement, it's a right triangle. Okay, if this is larger, then it is going to be an obtuse triangle. If this is less, then it's going to be an acute. All right, using Pythagorean theorem. 33, find out all the values of k so that the verticity is a right triangle. Graph it. All right, just graph it, and y'all can just figure it out on that one. You are going to be given graph paper on the test. If triangle ABC is a right triangle, which angle A is 30 degrees, B is 60, which follows your possible lengths of the side of the triangle. So this is another special right triangle. So this is a 30, this is 60. This, remember, this right here is the long leg, this is the short leg, and this is the hypotenuse. The short leg and the hypotenuse will always be multiplied by 2. So this would be A, this will be B, and I'm assuming this right here will be C. All right, just by looking at this, whatever my short leg is, my hypotenuse is going to be multiplied by 2. So looking at my answers here, it looks like if BC was 4, the hypotenuse will be 8, which means the long leg will be 4 radical 3, that is D. Find the vertices of X and Y. All right, so this is my hypotenuse, this is my short leg. I'm dividing by 2 to get my short leg, my long leg, multiplying by 3. 30, or radical 3. So 30, 60, 90 triangles. All right. 36, an architect designs a house. All right, for question number 36, I had to step away from the computer for like 6 hours, so I'm back. So what we have here is a triangle that is going to be a 45, 45, 9 degree right triangle. Okay, and hopefully you remember some of this from the from first semester. So this entire part right here, it's 16 with 16. The house is 16, and then you have a half of a meter that's, it just keeps going. So that means my hypotenuse is going to be 17. In order to go from the hypotenuse to the leg, you are dividing by radical 2. And so when you divide by radical 2, I believe you get 12. Let's see, 17 divided by radical 2, you get 12. So my answer is A. All right. Question number 37. Let's see, cosine x. All right, so I'm dealing with this angle. That is my opposite side. That's my hypotenuse, and this right here is my adjacent. So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So that would be 12 over 15. So 12 over 15, which should give me C. All right, use special right triangle. All right, so tan 60 as a fraction. All right, this is a little more confusing because you actually have to draw the triangle. Okay, so we have to draw a 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. So this is my right triangle, right angle, that's my 30 degree. This is my 60 degree. Okay, now where folks kind of screw up a little bit, my small side, if this was a 1, my hypotenuse would be a 2 because I'm multiplying by 2. If this is my small leg, I'd multiply by 1 radical 3. So there's my answer. So if this right here is the angle I'm dealing with, tan is opposite over adjacent. That's 1 radical 3 over 1. And so my answer ends up being, I believe, A. All right. Do your use your calculator to find trigonometric ratio of sine 79. So sine 79, that gives me 9.8. I believe it's going to be this one. Cosine 47. Yep. It looks like it's going to be D. All right, and for question number 40, and then we'll be done. Find sine A to the nearest hundredth. So we're dealing with this angle. This is the opposite I need to find, or this is my adjacent, I need to find my hypotenuse. Okay, so that means I got to figure out how can I find my hypotenuse. Well, I'm just going to use Pythagorean theorem. So so that'd be 2 squared plus 4 squared is equal to h squared is equal to h squared, and so I get my hypotenuse. My hypotenuse ends up being 4.47. So my sine A would be 2, which is my opposite over my hypotenuse, 4.47. So 2 divided by 4.47, it gives me an answer of 0.45. There's my answer. So 40 is A. All right, that's the end of video 3. Thank you.